What up, perps? Kate Copious, back in effect. Purple State Party, you know what we're doing here? We're repping America, the center, and common sense. You know, we got the Democrats and the Republicans. You put those two together, and the initials are DNR, as in do not resuscitate. So if you're ready to just let those two old out of touch fucking dickwad parties die, this one's for you. All right, so the 4th of July just passed, and, you know, for kid, man, 4th of July, that's the party of the year. I shell out, you know, for fireworks. I get all the J's rolled up, man. I had like an old cigarette case just filled with 15 J's, just handing them out like fucking candy, dude. One of the highlights for me, man, is we were driving around on a golf cart. We had Ride of the Valkyrie cranked up to 11, and I'm just hanging off the side. Yeah, riding the pirate ship, man. Just doing drive-bys with water extinguishers, you know? That's a hell of a lot of fun, man. You know, we weaponized a drone. Yeah, seriously, it went up and fired off little bottle rockets. It was kind of stupid, but I think it was one of the highlights of the evening. And apparently there's a new type of firework called that has flying fish effects. It goes up and then the little fishies kind of dance around the sky. That was fucking awesome, man. I mean, that was beautiful. That was, you know, in memory of our founding fathers, the Minutemen who died to free this country. You know, we also shoot off rockets for some of our dearly beloved. You know, I had to shoot one off for my dad this year. So having them flying fish at the end, that was fucking great, man. One thing I took from this thing was, you know, we have a parade here, and my little chunk of town is, you know, I would say it leans pretty much towards Mr. Donald Trump. A lot of Trump flags flying around. My brother, of course, wanted to put up his Biden flag, but he didn't have one. I put up my Trump flag. My brother started saying, well, you know, that's cool if you want to support a dictator. Not too long, you know, and I says to him, you know, we already live in California, so we live under a dictator, you know. Just because it's one, you could say it's Gavin Newsom. No, it's the political party. It's the Democrats. They're freaking Nazis. Come on, we know this, you know. Anyhow, so one of his friends shows up, and my brother, typically out of cigarettes, although maybe I think his cigarettes got soaked while we were out on that golf course cart. I don't like golf. Damn, I can't speak. Anyhow, his friend gives him a menthol cigarette. He's like, hey, where'd you get this? You know, you can't buy these here anymore. Oh, I got them in Nevada. And I says to my brother, and what was I saying about a dictatorship? You know, stop telling me what I can and can't do, all right? You know, 50-plus-year-old man hanging off the side of a golf cart, probably a stupid idea. I probably could have gotten hurt, but I didn't. But that was my choice. And it was in my hands to keep myself safe. And that's the way I feel about the government. It's up to me to navigate life, man. You don't need to fucking tell me where to go. But you know what? I'll tell you where to go. You go straight to hell. Because people are still going to buy their menthol cigarettes. We're still going to get our fireworks. We're still going to get what we want. Whether it's legal or illegal. That's the dumb part about it. Here in California, the one thing that California does the best is create black markets. Let's move on. Let's jump over here. Over to Conspiracy Corner. Biden's done. Look at a little more evidence of that in a bit here. Biden's done. But I think the Democrats had themselves a back door, a fake third party. Let's just call it Democrat 2.0, Mr. RFK. Yeah, RFK, he's a strong candidate. Well, let's go down this. Look, he's not Trump, but he's still anti-vax. And he had a brain parasite. So I guess that could be beneficial. I mean, it can't be any worse than the last guy that was a brain parasite. You know? And Biden. The brain parasite's really that left-wing way of thinking. The brain parasite is the extreme views from either the left or the right. Let's be honest about it. But RFK, his one big advantage is he's a spry 70 years old. Holy shit. Are we ever going to get people in office that still have more than a decade or so left? people who are going to have to live with their consequences. If he was 50, he'd have to live with his consequences for probably another 4 decades. Now, his one downside is his party. We the people. I think that's sort of lame. Then again, I'm Purple State Party, so I don't know. You choose on that one. I leave it up to you. I like purple, red, and blue put together. Boom, you know. Originally, I thought I was going to focus on California, but come on, we have bigger issues than that. And party, who doesn't like a party? Right? All right. But, you know, another advantage about RFK that is the biggest disadvantage, I think, for Biden is if RFK wins, there's no threat of Kamala. She disappears. She's a jokey footnote in the gutter of history. I don't know if the person who would replace Kamala Harris is going to be any better, but I would say the odds favor that because she's trash. She slept her way into politics. She's never taken a position of her own. She's never shown any passion. She talks to people like they're stupid, but she's the stupid person. If you're stupid, shut your mouth and open your fucking ears and learn something. If nothing else, take that away from this show. If you're stupid, shut your mouth, open your ears, and learn something. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I listen to the smart people. I read what they have to say. That's how you become intelligent. Kamala Harris is not that person. And quite frankly, I don't think this country is worth risking on her. At worst, she's just going to be a mouthpiece for the far left. At best, I don't know, man. I don't even know if there is a best side to Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris would be an insult to all women to make her the first female president. I don't care what party that comes from, but I want it to be a competent woman. I want it to be a woman that we'd leave our kids with, that we could trust, that has some sort of backbone. Not somebody who just spreads their legs for whoever has the cash. Bitch. We're saying Biden's done. This is Bronco. He didn't even draw a cartoon for this one. Make no mistake, Democrats will make Biden the fall guy for their policies. Because it's their policies. We make the mistake of looking at the individuals. We need to look at the party to see what's going to happen. Bronco did do a cartoon for this one. You know, this just shows, the economy is great. The Hunter laptop is fake. Trump says Nazis are fine people. Men can be women. The border is secure. They're going down. Maybe RFK is their backup plan. I don't know. Now this one really chaps my ass. This comes from the Telegraph here. You know, I listen to a lot of different music, man. I love Lainey Wilson because she reminds me of Dolly Parton. And I love Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is a person who puts her money where her mouth is. She stands up for what she believes in. She has a fucking backbone. Dolly Parton's scheme giving away children free books, attacked as white saviorism. That about sums it all up. She's been accused of white saviorism for giving millions of free books to poor children. Her reading scheme, and in England, just so you know, scheme isn't the same as here in America. Scheme is more associated with the word plan than trickery. The reading scheme called Imagination Library was launched by the country and Western Star in the U.S. more than 30 years ago. It operates in the U.S., UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, and has been lauded for helping to drive up literacy rates. Books, man. But according to a recently published academic paper, the award-winning scheme is racist. Racist. To give free books is racist. It reinforces notions of white privilege and heteronormality and not representing enough cultural diversity, disability, trans and bisexual gender identities, and non-traditional family structures. Look, you stupid motherfuckers, all right? I didn't have books on trans and bisexual gender identity. I didn't have books with disability or non-traditional family. Well, actually, non-traditional family structure, sure, a lot of that. S.E. Hilton's The Outsider. If you haven't read that book, you should read that book. I grew up on Tom Sawyer, the Huck Finns, the Kill a Mockingbird, the Jungle, East of Eden, John Steinbeck, and all of that. I watched the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons are where I learned that cultural diversity is funny. The difference is the way we look at things is funny. It's not dividing, it's uniting. It's about learning about other people. But you don't need a fucking book to tell you that. But before they could read books about how to turn a tampon into a butt plug, they need to learn how to read. And that's what she's trying to do. The academic paper by speech and language pathologist Jennifer, When I Die, the Cats Will Eat My Face, Stone, asserts that Dolly Parton's philanthropy is potentially dangerous and smacks of white saviorism. Oh, no. So what, white people shouldn't help people? Is that what we're saying? See, that's the cuckoo shit. I disagree with the extreme right because it's hate. It's hate and it's dangerous. It's mean, it's vile. We know that. The left extreme, it's just fucking stupid. It's stupid. To say that giving books to children who can't afford them is white saviorism, man, that's just trying to get your name out there, bitch. This is a fun one. Target joins Aldi, Whole Foods, and other stores no longer taking popular payment form. I had to click on it because I wanted to know. I thought maybe it was going to be PayPal. It's checks, handwritten checks. They're going the way of the dodo. A lot of us old people, we bemoan, the good old days, right? And I don't think losing checks is that big of a deal. I come from a day where you put a credit card, you put a piece of paper, and you went tunk, tunk, and you took an imprint of the card. I come from way back. I don't miss checks. I don't even know the last time I wrote a check. But the times are changing. But just because we progress technologically, does that mean we have to lose our fucking minds? Does that mean that we have to just take progressive bad ideas and run with them because everything has to be modern? I mean, love is eternal. Love has been here forever, and we're not changing that, right? Oh, we redefine who can love who. Still love. All right, back to Biden is done. Journalists dumbfounded as there were no previous signs of Biden declining whatsoever. I don't give a shit what political party you are. If you are twice as old, this comes from my daughter, if you are twice as old as the eligibility age, then you should be disqualified from being president. Old people do have wisdom. They do. If I was president, I would get older people who have been around and seen things. Imagine getting advice from a World War II veteran. The knowledge, the life experience. But running the ship, you need people who are reactive, agile, quick, and still have some ties to the younger generations. I have no problem with the younger generations. I don't know every single meme. I don't know all their catchphrases. I still they listen to some of the music that I've been listening to. We watched the same films. I just got done seeing an anime movie at a movie theater. I am geeked through the moon to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Is Biden? Is Trump? I don't know. Because when you have kids, they keep you young. When you start having grandkids, you can start losing your focus on the younger generation and what really matters to them. And that's important. And also, again, this comes from my daughter. If you are too old, you don't have to live with your consequences. If Biden fucks it up, how many more years do you think he's going to spend on this planet? Do you think Biden's going to have 2 more decades? You think Trump will have 2 more decades? No. You want children. You want people who have children, not grandchildren quite yet. Maybe young grandchildren. I don't know. I'm not making a rule book here or nothing. That's not what I'm doing. I'm mentally irregular. But if you look at your child's eyes and you see that they are going to have a future, what are you going to do to shape that future? Are you going to make it draconian? Are you going to fuck it up? Are you going to put us on a path of no return? Are you going to run up the deficit to the point where they're paying for it for the rest of their lives? I don't know. But I think somebody of a younger age sees those consequences. Cheap fake. Yeah, you know, the debate went exactly as most of us thought it would go. I would like to see a few more podiums up there. I want to see somebody saying that we could have gay rights and gun rights, that we could have abortion and safe streets. Why can't we do both? There is nothing in the rule book that says we can't do both. After ABC interview, Americans left with a president who denies reality. The White House is celebrating a strong interview. Yeah, okay. You know, Stephanopoulos, have you had a full neurological and cognitive evaluation? Well, I get a full neurological test every day. They're testing my brain, Mickey. Yeah. So Stephanopoulos pressed him harder and said, have you had a specific cognitive test? No, Mr. Biden said. No one said I had to. All right. Well, if you want to prove us all wrong, then why don't you prove us all wrong, man? Step up to the plate. Let's see what you got. Huh? Come on. Why not? If the biggest complaint about you is that your brain gone, well, show them that your brain's not gone. Unless, of course, your brain is gone. I have a cognitive test every day, Biden says. I'm running the world. Are you? Okay. Sure. All right. Anyway, as he says, watch me. God. Hey, he is a feisty old fuck, ain't he? You know, this guy, he has gone on record as saying, I'm the guy that shut Putin down. No one thought that could happen. What? He said that like in 88. I don't even know what to make of any of this. Everybody knows that Biden warned Putin not to invade Ukraine, and Putin invaded Ukraine. I'm the guy that put NATO together. No one thought he could do it. NATO was created a long time ago, all right? And it maintains an open door policy. And the reason Finland and Sweden joined was because Russia went on the move and attacked the Ukraine. Okay, Joe, keep taking credit of it. But what Biden says is that what makes... Brandon says, one of the things that Brandon says makes Trump unworthy is he calls his foe, Trump... God, I cannot read this morning, man. Red Bull early morning. He calls his foe a congenial liar. All right? But what does he do? He lies. It's like people always say, if you have a boyfriend who always thinks you're cheating, he's probably cheating. Biden lies all the time. Trump lies all the time. I don't get it. Why do we want to elect people who we know are lying? Okay, it's one thing. One thing I've always excused Trump with is exaggerations. Like they say here, exaggerations are common for candidates. Oh, I have the biggest crowd. And then they source it. Oh, it wasn't that big of a crowd. Okay, great. Okay. So much like the Democrats who are going to be fleeing Biden at some point here, it's only a matter of time. Come on. We know it. We can see it with our own two fucking eyes. George Soros halts funding to liberal prosecutors he helped elect. Yeah. Because they face uphill battles. George Soros is only caring about George Soros. He only wants to fund politicians that he finds useful. These people aren't going to be useful. See, he funneled more than $5 million into California Justice and Public Safety Pact, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Namely, the U-turn has hit L.A. County DA George Gascon and Alameda County DA Pamela Price. Both of them shot themselves in the foot with some of their decisions. And they should be booted from office. They're not qualified to be running those offices. George Gascon is a public defender at heart. Both of them are. But, Gascon got $4.5 million, and he rode a wave in the wake of the Black Lives Matters protest. Yeah, good going, guys. You listen to Black Lives Matter, a fucking con artist, a group of con artists. Excuse me. George Gascon angered conservatives. He angered citizens with his reluctance to prosecute a number of crimes, announcing to the public that he would not seek to imprison anyone for cases, including resisting arrest. So fight the officers? Fight the officers so the officers shoot you, then we could protest and ride the wave of Black Lives Matter again. Right? When Gascon took over, homicide went up 11%. He made limiting the number of people in jail one of the cornerstones of his platform. He got rid of cash bail, and he fought to protect immigrants, illegal immigrants from ICE, not immigrants, illegal immigrants. Say it right. Look at some of these crimes that he does not want, that he made people immune from prosecution for. This frustrates me. Disturbing the peace, great, you could act the fool. Driving without a license, oh, that's awesome. So their insurance will be invalid, right? It will. Public intoxication, because that never goes wrong. Making criminal threats, because that's not the first step to murder. And loitering to commit prostitution. These were his policies. These seem like minor things, but all you have to do, disturbing the peace, driving without a license, public intoxication, making criminal threats, all those 4 things right there, the next step after that offense is usually pretty bad. So why do you allow people to get away with that? Loitering to commit prostitution, I get that to some degree. Okay? I get that to some degree. I think in a world of sex slaves and human trafficking, though, we need to crack down on it, but whatever. Quick, Biden's done again. Trump will imprison his political opponents, says guy imprisoning his political opponents. This is why he's done. Look at the look on his face. Do you want that running the country? I know I always say the left really revels in their hypocrisy. So I'm going to give him something to revel in. Endangered listing of a sagebrush lizard exposes double standard between oil and wind energy. See, they took this obscure lizard that lives in the Permian Basin, the nation's most prolific oil and gas region. And the listing could restrict operations there. But when it comes to wind, what do they say? Let's look at Sean Smallwood here, what he had to say. He's raised concerns that renewable industry is undercounting the number of birds killed by wind turbines. As a result of his refusal to back down on the concerns, the industry has now shunned him. 25 years this guy worked with energy companies as a consultant. And the renewables are going to shun him now because they don't like what he says. Similar story for researchers and activists concerned about the impact of offshore wind on whales. Robert Rand, founder of the acoustics consulting company Rand Acoustics, has been trying to draw attention to what his research is showing, which is that there is a lack of adequate protections for the whales that migrate along the corridor where offshore wind projects are being developed. Those sounds, noise pollution. Do you know why when you're in most cities you don't see a lot of stars? Because of light pollution. What are we trying to fight with this climate change initiative? Green energy alert. Ow. What are we trying to fight there? Air pollution. Well, here you have you have turbine pollution, and you have acoustical pollution. Look, if solar panels are going to work and wind's going to work, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I want it to succeed. We're rushing it, but I do want it to succeed. But if we're going to do more harm along the way, especially to cornerstone animals like whales, what the fuck are we doing? It's like we're saving the planet by killing the planet a different way. Yay. That's that left-wing stupidity that I just can't. And look, solar company found to have reaped billions from top Biden law. Yeah. Reaction came swiftly after a bombshell report that one of the largest solar companies has donated millions to Democrats and then reaped billions. They gave him $2 million for Biden's presidential campaign, and they got $1 billion out of the Inflation Reduction Act. By the way, side note, hasn't reduced inflation. Okay? It's a way to give themselves money. John Barrasso out of Wyoming right here. President Biden is happy to throw billions of dollars in tax credits at a company that has forced people in foreign countries to work under slave-like conditions. Subsidizing First Solar is another blatant example of Democrats putting their wealthy donors ahead of the American people. You could say the Republicans do the same thing with the oil, but as the society stands right now, we need oil, plastics. Oil and plastics come from the petroleum industry. We need that more. So if you want to give them perks, you're not selling out Americans. Meanwhile, taxpayers get stuck with the bill. Ratepayers get to pay even more for their electricity. And environmental treasures like 100-year-old Joshua trees get mowed down to make room for solar panels. If you tried to drill for oil in the Joshua forest, they would say, "Niet." If you want to put up a solar panel, mow them down. And I'm guessing the solar panels would probably mow down more Joshua trees than an oil rig. Quick one. My favorite person, Gavin Newsom, brags about California job growth. New report finds it's all government. All government. He brags 16% of all national job creation last month came right here in California. Right. Okay. So the private sector lost 154,000 jobs. The public and public-supported sector, in other words, groups that survive off public dollars, gained 361,000 jobs, which meant the state's 2007 job increase in employment has been from the growing government-related hiring. Yeah. They take our tax dollars and give them to other people to do meaningless shit to keep their numbers up. Got to keep that in mind. The truth of the matter is, as Brian Dahl out of here says, Republicans have been saying for years that businesses and Californians are leaving. It was just a matter of time before the slick numbers game the government, the slick numbers games the government and the legislative Democrats play would come into light. It's only going to get worse if the unchecked legislative branch continues to write their own laws and creates more subsidized programs. Yeah. That's the truth of the matter. And they're not putting these people to work to conserve our water or to help upgrades with the actual electrical infrastructure or police or anything good. No, it's all their DEI bullshit and the office of this and that. And it's fucking stupid. And it's a waste of our money. But it's a way for them to get reelected and show, look what they're doing. So I wanted to end on a little bit of funniness here. Liberal unsure which gender this pride flag represents. Yeah. It represents pride in America. I had a bunch of them flying. The golf cart that I was hanging off of, fucking squirting people with. We had a flag. It was a good 8 feet in the air, man. My brother, he's an extreme leftist. Me, I'm Kid Copious. I'm in Purple State, right? We know that. You know who I am. But one thing we're united under is the flag. But what he doesn't realize is his side don't like that flag. I love that flag. Finish up here. That left crazy way of thinking. Liberal and private jet upset as he looks down and sees all the cows causing climate change. Oh shit, man. Democrats and Republicans, DNR, do not resuscitate. I'm the doctor who's going to pull the plug. All right? Kid Copious, Purple State Party, and so are you. Love one another. Hug your parents. Drink your water. Get your toes in some grass. And for God's sakes, dance it out.